Extra, read all about it. Get your copies while they last. Stop the presses.
And now for something completely different.
Are you ready for a little truth? Are we not entertained? Wisdom is the proper use of knowledge and experience. There are no safe spaces here. The truth shall make you free. It's showtime! So you want the truth, but can you handle the truth? Well, here's another fine mess you've gotten us into. Now that's entertainment. Enlighten me a little. What you say is quite logical. And what did we learn? Prepare yourself for a little sensory overload. I came here for the truth. 7 years ago. Stand by the roll show intro. Roll show intro in 3, 2, 1, go.
This is the Craig L. Hayes Show.
Hey, welcome, America, family, friends, and listeners all around this planet we call home. This is the Craig L. Hayes Show, and I am Craig L. Hayes, your host, your whatever you want to call me. I am having a wonderful day today. It's the 8th of November, 2024. I am so tickled. You know, so many people jumped right onto their podcasts, and everyone jumped onto their shows, and they had to tell everybody what they thought the election meant. Well, we all had our own opinions. We all had our own ideas. We had thoughts and concerns, etc., like that about this election, about the miraculous victory of Donald Trump over Kamala Harris. I didn't hop right on mine, even though I wanted to so bad, and do the, yes, we won. Finally, we're going to take and fix some things speech like so many others did. That's not where I'm going today. I decided to spend a couple days watching all these different shows and reading up all these articles and trying to figure out, and for myself, where I really thought the election was won by Donald Trump and lost by Kamala Harris. We'll start with Kamala Harris a little bit. She had $1.2 billion to get her elected. And that money was all spent, and they're in the hole for like $20 or $30 million now, the Democrat National Committee. That is a lot of money. That's, I don't even know, 4 or 5 times more than Donald Trump had to spend. And let's talk about Kamala Harris a little bit more. She had how many hundreds of millions, if not $1 billion, of free in-kind donations from the legacy media, from the CNNs, the MSNBCs, ABC, CBS, NBC, on and on, all these places, Washington Post, New York Times. That is serious, serious money of them being nothing more than a propaganda arm for the Democrat Party. And they should be investigated by the FEC for not reporting their in-kind contributions and election interference that they committed. But hopefully something will be done about that. You can't be a news agency when you call yourself, oh, we're totally neutral in this, and 90% of your coverage is on how bad Donald Trump is, and 90% of your coverage is how good Kamala is. That is not unbiased. That is not equal time. That is not news. That is propaganda. So you're all disgusting. And the one thing I think the American people found out this time, and I hope all you guys found out, is you are irrelevant. You mean nothing. to this nation other than to the Democrat Party. You want to be a propaganda arm of the satanic, evil Democrat Party, then you deserve the same fate as whatever happens to them. I'm not going to pull punches today on some things. I'm disgusted by the so-called legacy media. They're done. Talk radio, podcasts, that's what won the election for Donald Trump. And having a vision and having someplace he wanted to take this country. You cannot have a coup within the White House, put the vice president in without an election. Nobody in the Democrat Party voted for her other than a few people at the convention, and shove her down the American people's throat and say, here, have a Kamala Harris sandwich. You'll love it. And we're going to put a little bit of Tim Walz in there also. This is why you lost. You had no vision. She would not go on any long-form interviews like Joe Rogan and sit with him for 3 hours and let him pick your brain. She doesn't have a brain to pick. She knew it. Her handlers knew it. So the best she could do is go on and do a 7 or 10 minute interview on 60 Minutes that they had to edit and edit and edit to try to make her sound like she had some kind of brain inside that skull of hers. She doesn't. She's dumb. She's dumber than Joe Biden. American people never wanted her. She was thrown out of the Democrat Party primary in 2020 before even Iowa happened. That's how disgustingly bad she was. And she only got in there, and I'm going to go there, that she's a DEI hire for the vice presidency of the United States. Because Joe Biden said he was going to find a woman of color to be his vice president. Not the best person, not the most qualified, not the most brilliant person he could find to be his running mate to help him out and make important decisions. No, totally had to be someone with color and had to be a woman. End of story, done. Oh, well, let's see. Well, she meets two of those things. Okay, we'll take her. That's the end of it. So let's not be surprised that she lost, and she lost bad. The other side of the thing is all of the disgusting stealing election systems that the Democrats had put in place in 2020 were neutralized by the Republicans' integrity voting section that they put together and had 100,000 people, lawyers, and ready to go, and stopping it before it got carried away. It still happened. I'm not saying both sides don't do some of this stuff, but the Democrat Party is a master at stealing elections and destroying election integrity. But this time they had 100,000 Republican watchers and lawyers on the ball and stopping it and checking it before it got carried away. You guys did a great job at that. And that's all because of Laura Trump making sure that her father-in-law didn't get robbed of another election. So now we understand why she lost. She lost because she was a horrible candidate. She wasn't smart. She wasn't intelligent. Nobody liked her. Her cackling turned everybody off. You know, she wanted to sound like some wicked witch of the West when she laughed, and she wanted to show how stupid she was with her word salad. She couldn't even come up with anything that made people go, oh, well, she's making sense here. No, she never made sense. She never had anything other than she wanted to give people free money. And when they say they want to give people free money, remember this. There's no such thing as free money. She wanted to give all these people money to buy houses for college, for this and that. That means they're going to take it out of your paycheck, out of your labor, out of your efforts in making things good for your family, and give it to somebody else who did nothing to earn it. Yes, I may be a little harsh, and I'm fine with it. The Democrat Party is disgusting. And I'm going to talk about them in another show here I'm going to do later on today and all about them. But let's talk about why Trump won. He's fearless. He went into anything and everything that the Democrats threw at him. Did he ever shy away from a press conference that the people there hate him? CNN, NBC, ABC, all these people, they hate him and they want to try to trip him up and make him do it. And he gets right back in their face and takes them to the woodshed. Other things. Was he afraid to go on every single podcast that invited him that had more than 50 followers? No, he jumped right on it. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is a excellent interviewer. And he doesn't let you give stupid answers. He wants real answers. That's why Trump's had no problem going on there and getting into the weeds and the details of his plans and what he sees of America as being and just making it an awesome interview. And all these other podcasts that the youth listen to all the time. Kamala goes on interviews and she has interviews that say, what's your favorite ice cream type thing? That type of stupid stuff and then they cross their fingers and hope she doesn't say something stupid. Here'd be a good question. Hey, Kamala, what's your favorite ice cream? Pink. There we go. That would answer everything. What else did Donald Trump do? He worked his ass off. This guy is a machine. And I love how the Democrats always said that he's getting tired and he's worn out and his mental health isn't good. Yeah, this is the guy that's doing 20 events a day, does 2-3 rallies a day, goes on interviews, podcasts. He does this, takes press conferences, shakes hands, goes to McDonald's, goes and picks up trash. That worked out well for you guys, calling the people that support him all these names, huh? Yeah, annoyed people. Didn't work out for you. And this guy is a machine, and he showed why he's going to be an awesome president. His first time in the White House, he didn't realize how disgusting and evil the swamp is. He knows now. He's going to go fix it. And if you work in Washington, D.C., and you're part of that swamp, you better be nervous because he's coming to take and put you out on the street and have you go work in let's have you go work in McDonald's and live in a cardboard box. You've done that to the rest of the nation for the last 4 years. You might as well enjoy some of it yourself. There's not going to be any retribution. There's not going to be any payback. There is no vengeance coming out of this man. What he is going to do is make this country great. We're going to see some things happen in this country in the next little while, and I hope he goes in there guns a-blazing and ready just to take and fix it. And he puts together such a team that the swamp, the Democrats, the Rhino Republicans, K Street, all these people that are horrible for our nation understand something very simple. Your time is gone. Your period of being able to destroy the American people and become filthy rich doing it is over. The 5 richest counties in America surround Washington, D.C. Let's make that a slum, a ghetto. Those 5 counties should be just destroyed into nothingness because those people have no jobs, no influence, nothing. Get rid of them. Things are going to change. A lot of times personality helps out on a campaign. Bill Clinton showed that when he was going up against George H.W. Bush and against Bob Dole. Neither one of those guys had a lot of personality. Bill Clinton had a great personality. He gave a great speech. He was great with people. See how this works? Barack Obama, he gave a great speech. He was good with people. John McCain was horrible. Mitt Romney could have been pretty good, but he decided to go back to who he really is and not be a Republican, but go back to being a Democrat that calls himself a Republican. These things happen. This is how it works. Donald Trump has tons of personality and not afraid to go talk to people. That's why he won. The Republican Party and groups like Turning Point USA and all these other groups out there, they beat the Democrat Party at the Democrat Party's game. Victory, success. Yeah, it's a great revenge on those who try to destroy this nation. And Democrats, yes, you try to destroy this nation. Your whole ideology is based on destroying this nation and destroying people's lives. That's all you do. That's all you have ever done since 1820 when you were formed, and your backbone was made out of slavery. So anyways, that's where I'm heading with this today. It's not going to be a long show. I just wanted to take and put out what I thought happened here. Trump ran the most amazing campaign. The Republican Party, with its integrity in the vote campaign, was brilliant. All these groups got together and made it happen. And he spent 1/4 or 1/5 of the money that the Democrats did, and had no in-kind donations from the media. That tells you why the American people really wanted this guy. So you Democrats, get ready to be miserable, be upset, be horrified, and your lives are over. Yeah, we know it. Yeah, he says, I've already heard all the people crying about how now that everyone's lives are going to die, and all these horrible things are going to happen to them. Yeah, just keep up with the stupidity. We're enjoying it. You're comical. You're disgusting and stupid. Keep up the good work. I see 12 years of a Trump J.D. Vance presidency happening real quick here. All right, Republicans, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, congratulations. You guys did an awesome job. Let's dismantle this piece of garbage called the swamp in Washington, D.C. And let's do it as fast as we can. Until our next program.
This is the Craig L. Hayes Show.